going on, YouTube? I'm here with my son. His name is Pidgey. Some of you might already know him. Today I'm going to show you guys around with a little bit of what I've been doing on the current build. Man, I'm hungry. I had to order some food on Instacart, and right now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to eat because there's nothing in the house, but it's all good. So today I'm going to show you the quarter panel that I am cutting off of a Civic, and then I'm also going to show you guys the car that I'm going to pick up, which is my car. Zephyr was able to get the car running on AEM Infinity, and it has coil on plug now. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be exciting. Still needs a lot of body work. He painted the entire quarter panel like a paper bag, but didn't pull any of the dents out. So yeah, it's going to look even worse somehow. Okay, so we're in the garage, and this is the shell. It's up in the air. I had two options. I had the option of taking the shell to the body shop and having them strip the quarter panel for me, or doing it myself, taking the quarter panel up and avoiding the trip. I was torn between doing the body work myself entirely and having a body shop doing it. After having almost completely removed my first quarter panel, I'm pretty sure that I'm just going to have the body shop do it. So a little bit of wasted time. I could have saved a couple hours by taking just the car there, I think. Maybe like 2 or 3 hours, because it was a lot of work and a lot of hours to draw the spot welds. But here's where I'm at so far. So it's cut here and it's cut there. And all these little holes are all spot welds from the factory. And so you can see it's all separated from the inner seam that secures this quarter panel to the chassis. Didn't do an amazing job. I didn't have a spot weld cutting bit. I just had regular drill bits and a spring punch. So that's what I had to use. And another snag is that this, hear that? Hear that? So this is my first time doing body work. I really don't know a ton about body work. So there is some Bondo on it, unfortunately, and it looks like it was in an accident. So it's a lot better than my previous quarter panel. I'm still a little bit irritated that it's not what I wanted it to be. But the good news is the other quarter panel is good. And the other good news is that I know how to cut these out now. So the other quarter panel should be a lot easier to do. But I'm going to have to see like all these holes that kind of got blown out. It's okay there, but like here is bad. Here is really bad. Here is really bad. I'm going to have to straighten out all those holes with like a vice grip. Just so that when the body shop goes to put the new quarter on, they won't have any issues welding it on there. So this is where we're at. I mean, all I have to do now basically is there's a couple of spot welds that are holding this on somewhere, and I have to find them. But all the other spot welds are drilled out, all in the wheel well, and so it's basically almost ready to come out. The car was definitely a Northeast car. You can see some rust here. Looks like there was a window replacement done at some point, because this is rust. This is bad. But when I take it to the body shop, they are going to be taking the windows out anyway of the Civic. I have to put Lexan in the car, so it's fine. It's not perfect, but it's better than what it was. It's going to be a lot better. And yeah, so that's where we're at with that. And now we're going to pull the dolly out, and we're going to head up to North Jersey to pick up my race car. Okay, so leaving the house now. We got the dolly all set up, and we're ready to hit the road. Had to deflate the tires. You deflate them, normally they're 35, 40 PSI with a car on it. With no car, it's 5 PSI or 10 PSI. They're at 10 PSI now. So we're going to make the trek. Got to stop and get some money, and then we'll be out. All right. Dolly life.
You need air?
I do need air.
Yeah, the air tank is on top of my press right over there.
All right, so while Zephyr makes my car look like a plastic or a paper bag, this is what we have going on in the engine bay. We put on this cheap valve cover for, not cheap, but cut valve cover for now. So when we get on the dyno, we can adjust the AEM cam gears. This is all coil on plugs. So these are actually K-series coils that I got used on eBay for $60 for all four. And Zephyr hooked it up. He got the harnesses. He got the clips, and then he made them plug into the OEM harness. So there's I guess this is a power, I think. And then, the rest of them go through the firewall, and then they go to the AEM Infinity ECU. ECU is down here. So Zephyr cleaned up the rat's nest that was this thing, thankfully. Thank you, Zephyr. And yeah, so he even cleaned up the VDM so that it's less messed up, but a lot better than it was. Now we have to fill up the tires on the dolly, and Zephyr is finishing his design, and soon enough my car will really look like a turd, more than it already does, but it's okay. What's up?
Another box of stuff.
More boxes of shit? Why? Oh. Well, there you go, folks. It runs, I think. Looks like it doesn't have RPM. Interesting. All right, so we're good for the 50-foot rule, which means that the car needs to look 100% beautiful from 50 inches away. It's beautiful, so it passes that. Right now, we are trying to find a grommet that will fit in this little hole, because I have not had a grommet there. I just had like tape, and you're supposed to have all the holes in the firewall plugged up. Right now, the OEM tach, which normally gets a signal from the coil, is no longer getting a signal, and the dash gets its signal from that coil as well, normally. So as a result, we are no longer getting RPM. So Zephyr is just saying, get it wired up on the CAN bus to the dash so that you can get the RPM signal, and then we should be good to go.
What's up, Facebook world?
Face-
Instagram world.
It's YouTube.
Oh, YouTube world.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even
Man,
filming your face.
I'm like completely off of where I should be on this.
It's okay. I forgive you.
It's all right.
Yeah, so here's the grommet that we need. So we got that. And yeah. Cam gears and everything. Should be good to hopefully make some power. Nothing coming from that distributor anymore. Alright, and so the car is back home. This is the next day that I'm recording this, actually. But I did some yard work, and the car is now up in the air, and I'm prepping it for the dyno tomorrow. So basically, we're draining fluids, replacing fluids, and I'm going to try to get the car to idle right. I'm going to try to set the timing correctly, because the timing on the AEM computer doesn't know where the timing should be for the OEM spot. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to focus on the oil first, and get the car up in the air. Maybe I'll drain the gas and put some new gas in it. But yeah, I got some new spark plugs for it. I got oil for it. And if you want to check this out, this is pretty interesting. So I was doing a little bit of cleaning as well. So I got this temperature sending unit that plugs into a drain plug. And luckily I caught this because it just cracked. It completely just sheared off. So I got lucky, but I put a magnetic drain plug back on the car, and yeah, we're just I got my Blackstone sample. Saw a little bit of gold in the oil when I drained it, so maybe it ate up a bearing a little bit. I did find a piece of a bee in my oil filter, my old one, because old bugs were living in the engine. So I guess there was a bee in my oil filter. We'll see if the oil pressure is better now. But yeah, the car seems to be still okay, so send it.